All right, we live.
Oh, we.
Go back to doing what you're doing.
I was getting ready to do a
Yeah.
top knot, but I'll just chill. So
Wait a minute. Do a what?
just
What's
you
that?
know
Oh.
a
Okay.
top knot. I didn't realize we were live.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen on the Sports Brothers show. You know that.
This is true.
Yeah.
Just trying to get it out of my
Oh.
way. It's tickling me.
Well, how did you do that without even looking at it?
It's my head. It's like it's the same place it's been all these years.
Well, okay, that's fair
Can
to
you
say.
shave your head without looking?
I can, but there'll be
Yeah.
some missing items of it'll be some spots. It'll be like spot duty if I do it that way.
That
So I
would
do have to
not
use
be
a
good.
mirror. No, it wouldn't. Not even for
Yeah.
Halloween. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But today is August the 9th, 2022.
Hmm.
Welcome to the Sports Brothers show. And as you
Hmm.
can see, there's a sports brother and then there's a sports sister
Hello.
on the show. All right. So
Wow.
Lacy Dawson is here with
Yes.
Mr. 411 today as Zach takes care of some things that are going on in his great state of Texas. But uh, but Lacy Dawson can hold it
Is it
down.
is it that is it that power grid again?
There's something going on out there, yeah. But Zach is dealing with it, and
Okay.
he definitely is going to make every effort to join the show. But if he
Okay.
doesn't, we'll take care of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
you could take his pay for today's episode.
Um, I I don't think I better do that. You're just gonna
All
have to
right.
pay us both.
Well, we'll see about that. But we'll
Yeah.
see about that in just a minute. Sports
It wasn't
Brothers
my
show.
idea, Zach.
Here we go. Welcome to the show.
Howdy.
All right,
Hi
she's
there.
Lacy. That's
How?
right. She's saying hi to the world, everybody. So she's Lacy. I'm Mr. 411. Before we get rolling, please do the following. Subscribe, notification buttons for us, please. It does nothing but help us. And you
Okay.
know what? You don't have to pull out any money to do that. You just press the buttons
Really?
for us. All right. I did it too. So if I can do it, anybody can.
Okay.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk about. There's going to be some NFL discussion today. This is part two. Part one was some NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame
Okay.
discussions with Henry
Hmm.
Brown, and Henry Brown was in the studio, and so was Eric Hightower, and they brought a lot of information to the table.
Oh,
Brought some blasts for the past and some informational players, that
cool.
everyone needs to look up, such as Otis Taylor of the Kansas City Chiefs. They believe he should be a Hall of Famer. And we're going to, and by the way, he played at Prairie View. So that's interesting.
Okay.
And that's going to
Hmm.
tie into some of your co hosts on the show after the game, which airs
Hmm.
again on August 17th, 2022. I'm sure,
Yeah.
another cheap plug right there for the show.
All right.
But yeah,
I'll take
we're
it.
going to, yeah, absolutely. But we're going to talk about tonight Odell Beckham. Where do we think he's going to land for this upcoming season? And we're going to talk about one of your favorite divisions of the NFL, the American Football Conference Eastern Division.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay.
All right. All right. Before we do
Hmm.
that, let's throw up a couple sponsors.
Okay.
Cover your eyes, please. Keith
Oh, that's
Morgan.
my favorite.
Keith.
Hello.
Keith.
What's it? Come get fit with grit. All right,
Yeah.
grit.
There you go. So get gritty. All right. Um,
I am
Personal training
team
with
grit.
Keith Morgan. All right. Team Grit. Lacy Dawson is Team Grit
Team
officially.
grit. Yes.
All right. But Keith Keith Morgan, personal training. He caters the programs to you. So, he'll give you
Really?
he'll give you his survey, everything, talk with you, do his consultations, see what your goals are, and he'll tailor the program to fit your needs. So check out PT with Grit Keith Morgan, and he is a sponsor of the show. Definitely appreciate him. All right. And then Panty Platter, the Panty Platter Boutique, Instagram at _ Panty Platter. Check out www.thepantyplatter.com for all lingerie for all your intimate occasions. The Panty Platter. That's right. We are on Blackjack TV. We like to thank the Jack for airing our shows on their network as well. Lacy, I know you love this one. Margarita Man. All right, 478-273-0787. Brandy and Curtis Lane. Check out Margarita Man. Get your party started.
Right. Cool.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yeah.
All right, Odell Beckham, wide receiver, Super Bowl winner, right? Just recently won Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. So now he has the ring to go with his career at this point. But he is, for some reason, a free agent, and he's not on any team right now. So that bears the question of Odell Beckham. Talent. He's a talent, no doubt about it. And he could probably help a lot of teams. But where do you think he's going to land, Lacy? Or where would you like for him to land? Let's start with that first.
Well, he is a special talent. I know that he gets a bad rap because of some of the things that he used to do. I don't believe that he is continuing to do those things, but sometimes that bad reputation follows you around, and there's not a lot you can do about it. And I think that there's several places that should be looking at him. I think if Julio Jones is playing for somebody, then Odell Beckham Jr. should definitely be playing for someone. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up down there in Tampa with all the rest of the gang. But the teams that need him, the very first one that comes to mind for me is Baltimore. They got the quarterback, and if they can get the run game together, even if they can't, Lamar Jackson is in desperate need of receivers.
Yeah.
Not just placeholders, but like qualified receivers that, as y'all like to say, stretch the field. And he is dangerous. Lamar Jackson has the arm to get him the ball, and would take some of the load off him if he had that kind of deep threat running around out there. He's going to be hard to cover, and he's always going to be a threat. So I would love to see him in Baltimore. I would love to see him. And there's a couple of other people just kind of floating around that, that landed in Tampa that should have been in Baltimore. Not just Tampa. It's like MVS. It's like, why is he not in Baltimore? I'm very disappointed in the Ravens in their lack of acknowledgement that they have a great quarterback, but great quarterbacks have to have great receivers, or at least something to start with. Mark Andrews is the number one receiver.
Right.
You need somebody like Odell Beckham.
Yeah. That's a good point, because I remember in the days of Michael Vick, that was a lot of talk too. Was like, why is Vick not flanked with a lot of elite receivers?
Right.
He started off with Brian Finneran, and then his best target was the tight end, Algie Crumpler. So yeah, there's some similarities.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about him in a long time.
Yeah.
Crumpler.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a good point. The Ravens, that's a good location. I have one that I'll throw out there that it's been rumored, and some of the teams, some of his, it would be future teammates if he went there. And this also has a little bit to do with the division we're going to talk about in a little bit, but that's the Buffalo Bills. There's some players on that team that are really vying, wanting to get Beckham over there. So, Von Miller is talking about, hey, come over here. Let's come over here to Buffalo and let's get a ring again together, because they did this in Los Angeles last season. So that brought to mind maybe Buffalo, because Buffalo has the quarterback, with the quarterback with Josh Allen, right? And it wouldn't hurt for him to have another weapon. You know what I mean? So if you add Josh, if you give him Beckham.
but you'd be wasting somebody like Beckham. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have him on your squad.
It wouldn't hurt at all. Yeah, just the threat of him,
that's just the wrong part of New York.
I mean, we're gonna get into that later too.
From sunny California to Buffalo. Come on now.
Well, no. I mean, Von Miller did.
Well,
and Beckham was in Cleveland, which is
Yeah, that's why he went to California.
Yeah, yeah, but right now California don't want him, so I don't know. I mean, I think Buffalo will be a spot, even if it's just for a season. That's a location.
It wouldn't be a bad move on his part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that because Buffalo is definitely knocking at the door for sure. But I would like to see him go to a team where he would get the kind of respect that he deserves, where like he's the guy. He's not going to be the guy, and Stephon Diggs is not going anywhere.
Right.
He's not going to be the guy in Buffalo. But I would just like him to see him go someplace where he can be the difference maker or be a part of the solution.
Mm-hmm. What about New Orleans? He did play at Louisiana State University, LSU, down in that area, Baton Rouge. So what about the Saints? I mean, they need help at receiver. And you're saying that maybe he needs to be more of the guy. That could be a place where he can really be the guy as far as receivers go.
The Saints have too many question marks, and I could see him, instead of being the guy, being the scapegoat. When things don't go right, they got a new coach. Jameis is just like a brand new quarterback, and he's already having some health issues, and so I don't believe that is going to set Odell Beckham up for the best rebound from the Super Bowl team. From winning the Super Bowl to go into a team where if things don't work out, he's going to get a lot of the blame. Right. It's like Michael Thomas is eventually coming back. We don't know how much he's going to have left in the tank, but I wouldn't be mad if he went back to New York. I mean, I'm talking about the Giants, maybe. I wouldn't. I would even though I love my Jets, I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't want him to waste his talent on the Jets.
Okay, well, so you got maybe the Giants coming back home for you. Another team, Green Bay.
I mean, Eli won't be there, but it's something. It could be something that could be good if Saquon is 100%. The two of them together would be really fun to watch. So.
Yeah, it would be fun. But yeah,
please don't let him end up in New England. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I doubt he goes. I doubt he goes to New England. I don't think he would want to go there. But you did mention Eli Manning, but Eli was good for 2 years. So I mean, Daniel Jones, that can help him. Having a weapon like Beckham, and if Saquon reemerges as a pass receiving back and an excellent running back. Health concerns there, but if he makes it through, that would be a nice spot. It'd be fun for you. This quarterback right here. There's always talk about the team never drafts, doesn't draft wide receivers, highly rated wide receivers. They usually get receivers later on, or some that become maybe a project or come off of another team and then they develop. But Green Bay, what about pairing him with Aaron Rodgers? You think that would be a good spot?
Well, they did lose Devontae Adams. I don't know. I didn't think about Green Bay actually.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe Denver might be an interesting place for him to land.
That's
with
interesting.
Russell Wilson. Yeah. But I hadn't thought about Green Bay. It's cold up there. I know it's cold in Denver too, but I mean, Green Bay is a special kind of cold. Green Bay and Buffalo, no. But I mean that could be interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Green Bay for him. Aaron Rodgers is the big star, and now with Devontae Adams gone, and you got Alan Lazard.
I mean, he could fill a void there, or at least help fill a void, and Aaron Rodgers is, arguably one of the best throwers in the game. So,
Hey,
Beckham,
that could be interesting. I hadn't thought
yeah,
about that one either.
yeah, Beckham runs his routes properly, which he does. He is a great route runner. The ball's
Mm-hmm.
going to be there, because Rodgers is accurate. So, I mean, that's a possible landing spot there. Me personally, I do like Buffalo as a spot because, because right now for me, Beckham is kind of he's been a type of player now that doesn't necessarily have that one home yet. And I think if he goes to Buffalo, and even if it's just for a season, and they try to go for it right now, and he gets a second ring, then he's pretty much gold. Now he can just go play anywhere at that point, just finish out his career somewhere. But I think Josh Allen could benefit from having him as well. And again, as you stated, they have Diggs at receiver, so Beckham really wouldn't have to be like the main weapon. He could be, secondary. So I think that would be a good spot for him, in my opinion.
So you say Buffalo, I say Baltimore.
Yes.
So hopefully one of us is right. But I wouldn't mind seeing him in Denver either, though.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Denver. I didn't think about that one. That was a good location right there too. Russell Wilson can definitely utilize.
I mean, they've got some talent there, but there's an unproven element to the talent. I think
good point.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton.
And
and Judy.
Yeah, Judy's. I think he's going to be good, but it's just that you want to what is that, AFC West?
Yes, and it's stacked over there this year.
Yeah, so you need to get some stacking going on your team so that you can at least compete with these guys. Yeah, I think Russell Wilson's going to be really good in Denver. So it remains to be seen, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in either Denver or Baltimore.
Well, look at you with the AFC West preview already.
Okay, yeah, we're not talking about that one yet.
we'll eventually get over there too, but yeah. But that's good. That's a good tease because one of our upcoming episodes will be about previewing the AFC West, which is going to be super competitive. So sooner or later we'll get to that division. But yeah, good discussion about Odell Beckham. But before we get to the preview of the AFC East, we do need to take a commercial break. Okay. And this advertiser break is going to be about GG Events NYC. Check out Janice Gonzalez.
NYC. Okay.
Yes, up in the Northeast area. Yeah, we get sponsors everywhere here, Lacy.
I see.
But because we have a lot of viewers up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Especially thanks to Blackjack TV. But GG Events, excellent. If you want your party set up properly, take a look at this video right here and you'll see some great examples.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. All right. Check it out. GG Events NYC. They do great work. It's amazing how they can take balloons and make balloons into all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I have trouble just blowing a balloon up. You know what I mean? So for them to do all that is amazing. Yep. But check out Miss Gonzalez. All right, it's time to talk about the AFC East. All right, this is one of your favorite divisions because it does contain the Jets. There's also those hated Patriots. I'm saying that on your behalf, but the Patriots who dominated this division for years, and now we have the emergence of the Buffalo Bills, and it seems like they are going to be the new team to beat in this division, the new standard, if you will. So this is going to be an interesting division. And I think I leave another team out. Oh, Miami. There's a lot of hoopla in Miami. There's a lot of hoopla down there now. They sold out they have season tickets sold out for the year in
In
Miami.
Miami?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what I said. It's so much to do in
Good for
Miami.
them.
Yeah, with so much to do down there. There's so
Mhm.
many people that come into that area just to visit and have fun and stuff.
Yeah.
For them to sell out the season, that's impressive at this point. And so
Mhm.
they're thinking that they're on the rise too. So with those four teams right there that we just named, we can go ahead and get
Mhm.
into that discussion. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna pass over you and let you get started.
Okay. Well, like full disclosure, I mean, this is how I'm living.
Oh
Yay!
wow, Jets.
Woo!
Well, let's
So,
start with the Jets.
if you've noticed that there's a slight bias on my part, it is now you know the reason. So, yeah, I'm definitely a Jets fan. The AFC East, it used to be a really competitive division. And actually, it was a little more competitive than I thought it was last year, except for the Jets. The Patriots, had a really good season. I wasn't expecting it, but no question, Buffalo is definitely the best team in this division. I feel like they're one of the top three teams in the conference, and
Hmm.
any one of those three could be the one that wins the AFC Championship. I think it's Buffalo, um, Kansas City, and I think the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, let's dig into the Jets for a moment. What's your
Okay.
thoughts on your Jets? What are you looking? What is your
You know.
expectation? What are you looking to see there?
Well, I would love to see, and this is not going to happen because it's just not in the cards. I would love to see the Jets make a quarterback choose a quarterback in the draft that doesn't become a bust. I would love to see that happen, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime because they just keep getting lemon after lemon after lemon, and um, I was going back over some of the games from last year, and Zach Wilson. I mean,
Hmm.
it just wasn't there. I don't know what they saw in him that made them decide that he's the one for this season based on what I saw last season. It's not a good look. Now I do know that there were a lot of injuries, and so that's going to account for some of it. But he looked terrible as a quarterback. He looked terrible, and we don't have Saquon, so we gotta figure out how you're gonna score any points. It was an ugly season last year. I feel like unfortunately it's probably going to be an ugly season this year. I haven't seen any major improvements to the team.
Hmm.
I haven't seen it. In fact, I think was it Jamison Crowder that went to he went to okay first I think he went to either Tennessee or Carolina maybe, and now he's in I want to say he's in Buffalo, which
Wow,
makes
he's
no
helping.
sense to me. Huh?
I was
That
saying,
makes
wow,
no sense.
so he's helping the enemy. Okay.
I know. It's like, okay, like they don't need him. He's somebody that's got good hands, and he seems to make all of his catches, and despite how bad the quarterback play is, and they don't just like Baltimore, like who are you going to throw the ball to? And
Yeah.
and the biggest problem I think is the quarterback for the Jets. I don't have anything against the young man, but you have to look better than that. And why they held on to him, I don't understand. Do you?
Yeah. Well, I think because he's young, right? And speaking of young, I'm saying speaking of young, Steve Young, if you remember him, play on name. He
I
played
do
at
remember him.
BYU, Brigham Young University, and that's where Zach played at. Zach Wilson played at BYU, and the thing about him was that they were high. The Jets brass were high on his arm strength, and they figured it would work out in the pros. Now it's only been one season, so that's the good side of things. That's the glass half full size of thing. Is that he's
Yeah,
just
but
getting
when your
started in his
quarterback is
career.
throwing more interceptions than touchdowns, that's a problem.
Well, it's an early problem, but Peyton Manning threw 18 interceptions his first
And but
year in.
how many touchdowns did he have?
Well, it was a significant number. We'll
He
put
had
that
more
on.
touchdowns than interceptions.
Well, he may have, but we'll definitely put that on our YouTube page. But I guess my point is that he's definitely not Peyton Manning. But even Peyton Manning had his fair share of ints in his first year and had to learn. So maybe if you look at it that way, give him another season or two and see what happens. But I will say this: the Jets were active in free agency. They did pick up some defense. They picked up some players in the offensive line. So they are trying to improve the team. And according to some of the draft experts, they had a strong draft this year. So we will see what if any of those improvements, any of those acquisitions will help the Jets. I really personally feel like the Jets will, if they win 6 games, I think you should celebrate.
6?
If they win,
What?
yeah, if they win 6, I think you should have a party. You should throw a party. You should hit up GG Events NYC.
I love the Jets, and I will be happy
Yeah,
if they win. I just don't like what I see. I
yeah,
don't see a team that's making itself better. Okay,
yeah,
this is the Jet schedule. They start with
yeah.
Baltimore and
Okay, they're
Cleveland
not
and
gonna win that one.
Cincinnati,
In that one. In that one.
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So they're gonna be 0-4. Then they play Miami, and if Tua has got his crap together, they're gonna be 0-6. Let's see, Denver, that's Russell Wilson. 0-7. New England, they never beat them. And Buffalo. So now they're 0-8.
Okay, so that's right. So if they win their
I
last 6 games. Look, they
Who
win
are
their
they
last.
going to beat? The only person in this bunch that's possible to beat, maybe, is Miami.
Wow, and that's a
I mean,
possible.
if you look at it,
It's tough sledding in the beginning. So,
in the
let me take
beginning,
back
when does it get
my
better?
statement. Well, look, I'm gonna take back my statement, Lacy. If your Jets win 4 games, you should celebrate and have a party. But yeah, this is a tough sledding in the beginning.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's tough sledding. Uh, Well, okay,
Well,
I see. Because they end up with Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle, Miami.
in Chicago, so there's a possibility here to get the 4 wins. You know what I'm saying, for sure. Like, I don't know which 4, but and then there's going to be a game in there where they're
I
going to
know which
win and
four
beat
it
a
won't
team.
be.
Well, there's definitely going to be a game somewhere in there that they're going to get that people don't think they're going to get. So it all even itself out. So based on that schedule, I'm looking at about 4 wins, 5 max for the Jets this year. But that'll be pretty good. It's just more about seeing how they play and see
Right.
if anything comes from that. And one more note on the Jets before we go to let's go to New England after that. The Jets are one of the teams that finished last in their division. So in the NFL, at least one team has gone from worst to first. So in 17 of the last 19 seasons. So there's hope. There's hope. 17 of the last 19 seasons, a
I
team
know.
has went
I
from
know.
worst
Last year
to
wasn't one of
first.
them.
Right. It wasn't
Jacksonville did not go from worst to first.
correct. But there's always a team somewhere in there. Well, not always, right? 17 out of the last 19 years, so that's almost 2 decades, where there's a chance of a team going from worst to first, and the Jets fit that criteria. They were last, so they have opportunity to finish first.
Right. Well, you can only
You
go
know,
up from here. So yeah.
there you go. There's only one way to go right now for the Jets.
Well, you would think
All right,
if
I did
it's
mention
towards the ceiling, that's not good.
the.
It's not great if it's the floor, but if it's the ceiling, that's a very bad team. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
all right.
go
Well,
Jets.
all right. Well, we'll see where they go. All right. What's your what's your thoughts on the Patriots?
Well, of course, I hate the Patriots. I always
Yes.
have, always will. But like I said, they had a surprisingly good year last year, and I think that speaks to Belichick. Clearly, for him to get, I think they ended up like, they were over 500. Like they were either like 9-8 or 10-7, something like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they were solid.
I think they were like 10-7 maybe. But
They had a solid.
considering like they really didn't have any big names on that team last year. It's like who's the number one receiver? I don't know. Do you?
Me neither. No, I don't. They don't know
who's
either.
the running back? They have a committee,
Yeah.
and so it's like so to put together, excuse me, to put together that kind of record with a team full of middle of the road kind of players, it's got to be coaching. So my hats off to him for that. I don't like him, but I will give credit where it's due, and I believe that their defense has kept them, is what keeps them really able to hang with a lot of teams, and I applaud that as well. Yeah. I think they're going to have a season that's probably very similar to last year. They're what's his name, Mac Jones.
Yes,
is the quarterback, that's and correct. He gets just enough done for them to win. So kudos, they're I don't see them sliding back any further than last year. Maybe I don't know what their schedule is. However, if it's anything like the Jets schedule, that they may have a little bit of a regression, but I believe they'll still come in second in the division.
Oh, you think they're going to be second in the division? Okay,
I do.
Wow, that's pretty strong. Especially well, yeah, it's pretty strong because there's a lot of talk about the next team that we'll talk about in a few, Miami. But right. You're right. But you are right about the New England Patriots as far as their defense. That's a great point that you made there. I'm not surprised that you made that point because you love football like that. But New England has had, I think 2 years ago they had maybe. Well, you remember when they had the COVID season, and there was about 9 starters that didn't play because of the COVID year. So they came back. They brought back a lot of starters on defense. And Belichick, if there's nothing else that people don't know about Belichick is that he loves defense and he coaches up defense. And so that is definitely the calling card for the Patriots. Defense, quarterback, at this point post Brady, don't mess things up, and we move forward. You know what I'm saying? So
don't throw more interceptions and touchdowns.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So I think that's where they are. I'm with you there, and we can talk about the schedule. I'll just read off a couple games for you.
Okay.
They have. Let's see. They have the Dolphins, the Packers. They have, let me go back here. Okay, starting with September 11th, they have Miami, then Pittsburgh, then Baltimore. So those are 3 games right there off the bat. How do you feel about those 3?
We don't know who Miami is yet. I don't know. I don't know who they are. So until I see something about how that they put some new parts in there, just until we can see how they fit together. It's if Tua has taken a step forward, it needed to be quite a big step. He's got weapons, but it remains to be seen if he can get the ball to them consistently. So I'm not going to overhype Miami just because they've added some stars. You know what I mean? Some star power. Because
makes sense.
I don't believe that they didn't have talent on the team last year. I think they had Devontae Parker.
Yeah, they
year.
did. Mm-hmm.
And he went to he's somewhere in the division. Is he in New England? No.
But they also had Waddle too. Well,
they still have him.
Right. That's why they had him last year too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't think it was a lack of talent. That's what I'm saying. It's like, Tyreek Hill, that's exciting, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that they brought in the right type of talent to go around and surround Tua, right? So Tua basically doesn't have any excuses right now. Tua has, in my opinion, he has what is needed for him to, to take another step forward. He's still young in his career too, so I'm not going to be one of those that say, oh, he has to make it to the Super Bowl or they have to make the playoffs or anything like that. But you want to see some improvement because they did invest and bringing talent where they basically can help him look good. You know what I mean? So I think that they did that, and I think Miami again has they have a shot in the arm now. The fans are behind them; they're believing in them,
Yeah.
and so I think that the Dolphins will definitely not be an easy out. You know what I mean? And it's never really easy to play in Miami, especially early in the year when it's hot and muggy and and all that kind of stuff, steamy
Mhm.
down there. So they may be able to sneak off a couple wins early on some teams.
Mhm.
But I think Miami will be, and even last season, they were in the playoff hunt, in the hunt, and then they fell apart late. But I think that
Mhm.
they will still be in the hunt this year. So I think they'll be a contender for a playoff spot.
You
That's
think so?
where I feel about yeah, that's what I feel about them right now.
Okay.
And so that's just about Miami. But now we get back to the schedule. Now that's a
Mhm.
whole nother thing. So I think that will be kind of a pick'em game. It'll be kind of a
Mhm.
pick'em game between them and Miami from New England and Miami. But then Pittsburgh, I think that's another pick'em. We're not sure exactly what Pittsburgh how they're going to land. You know what I'm saying? Pittsburgh they can beat anybody and then they can lose anybody. That's just how Pittsburgh kind of works.
Well, I
You know what
mean,
I mean?
they've got question marks as well. Whose schedule
Yeah,
is
and they
this?
have
In New England?
yeah, that's New England schedule right there.
Also, they play the Giants, Miami, Green Bay,
Yeah.
Chicago. I can't. Oh, and then the bye.
Yeah, the top. Don't worry about the top. You can start
Okay.
right there with September 11th, right there. So you have
Oh,
Miami,
oh, okay. Those
Pittsburgh.
are. I see.
Yeah.
I
hmm
see.
And then to follow that up, the next three games you have the Packers, okay, the Lions, and the Browns. So that's kind of tough too. But
It can be. Yeah.
those three games there, Chicago, the Jets, Colts. So those are winnable games right in there. So
Yeah.
they should get off to a good start.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yep. And
mean,
then
yeah,
they
yeah. I mean, they've got some tough games in there, but yeah, they're in a division that's. I mean, they generally own the Jets, and they usually own Miami. So
yeah.
that's four wins right there.
But
So I
those are the
feel
four
like
you talking about.
uh,
I said those are the four that you're referring to.
yeah,
But
like I
yeah,
said, Miami for me is a question mark because I don't think that Tua didn't have the talent around him last year, but he's got another year under his belt, and they've had the preseason to kind of work on the fundamentals and just get really familiar with their offensive coordinator, and so
okay.
we'll see.
Well, there's Tua right there, and
Yeah.
as we stated earlier, we talked about the Dolphins just a little bit already. So we'll just go ahead and transition right into the Dolphins.
Hmm.
So Miami, we kind of
Okay.
touched on the offense already. I think they're going to be pretty solid on defense, and I just think they're going to be an overall solid team this year. They're going to bring it, but I do see them somewhere in the right there on the cusp of a playoff. With them adding the extra team to 17 per conference, instead of six, then they
Hmm.
added that last season. I think that opens the door for teams like a Miami to have an opportunity to get in. So they're going to be somewhere near the end of the season having to try to get in. So if you want to glance at the schedule, and
Hmm.
we can zoom all the way down to the stretch and just kind of look at that stretch and see, do you think Miami can get enough victories down the stretch next year to
Mm.
to have a chance? I know you picked the Patriots to get in, so
Yeah.
will that would
Uh,
it, in order for Dolphins to make it in your mind, that
mhm.
means it would have to be a third team. So do the Dolphins
Mhm.
have a chance down the stretch there
1, 2, 3,
after that bye
4.
week?
It's not. They might only end up at like 8 and 9, or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
9 and 8. But it's
yeah,
like I don't see them beating New England or Buffalo or Baltimore or Cincinnati or I mean I don't know what Pittsburgh's a question mark. I don't
yeah.
see them beating Cleveland, even if it's not Deshaun Watson, because that'll be way past the 6 game suspension point. I don't see them beating. Well, I don't know what San Francisco's going to do. The Chargers are going to be tough. Buffalo, Green Bay, New England. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
it's
a
not
favorite.
fun.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's not fun, not at all.
Right.
But they're
Hmm.
gonna have to try to take advantage of that week 8 through 12 range. Try to sneak a
Yeah.
couple victories in there for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe split a couple games early or go at least 2-4 to
Hmm.
start the season, and then
Well,
in
they
that
got the Jets
middle,
twice, though.
yeah. And
They had
well,
that to look for.
that's always a good thing, Lacey. But
Yeah, I
somewhere in the
know.
middle, try to sneak about 3 out of 4 wins there. Come out of that
Okay,
bye week with Houston, but
sure.
then down that stretch, I see that they have to go to California back to back, and that's always tough, especially when you're as far east as the Dolphins are. I wonder if
Hmm.
they're just going to stay out there for the week versus going to San Francisco. Flying
Hmm.
from Miami to San Francisco, then go back to Miami, then fly back out to Los Angeles. And then after that they got to go up to Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? So I think they probably be best suited to stay in California for that week on week 14 and 15 because that's gonna be a crucial time. That's that playoff push. You know,
Hmm.
so yeah, that's gonna be tough. So I see them at the cusp of it. I think we both
Hmm.
probably leaning towards Miami not making the playoff,
Yeah.
but looks like they have a solid season though, competitive season.
Well, if Tua is able to kind of live up to his receivers, I think that they could make the playoffs. I just haven't seen him do that. Not really. So we'll
All
see.
right.
Hmm.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, there's one more team
Okay.
left in the division. We saved
Yes,
this team for last,
yes,
right? Obviously.
and Buffalo is still in New York. We claim them. I may have to
Yeah,
get some Buffalo gear.
they're
Oh
they're
my.
technically in New York. There you go. So
Is that
there's
Von Miller? Yeah.
Von Miller's number 40, number
I
17
see
in
him.
the middle is the quarterback. Yeah, and the
Mhm.
quarterback's in the middle. All right, so there's your Buffalo Bills. They look happy. They look like they're, ready to make a run for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course
Everything
they're
is
happy. It's like August. Let's
injury
see what they
free.
look like in December.
Well, they won't be wearing shorts.
No, they
It's
will not. They won't be wearing shorts in November.
yeah, I believe that. That's why I'm glad I'm not up there. But yeah,
Mhm.
so Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about them. What you think about them? How do you feel about
I mean, I think they're pretty awesome, and I'm liking it for them. I love it for their fans because it's they've been waiting. you know, I remember that what was it 4 years in a row.
them? Yeah, 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Oh my goodness, that is cruel.
Yeah,
And
that
I like what their the organization has done when they put the pieces together. I think the only thing that they really lack is a strong running game.
hmm
They've had like the committee thing going on, but now they got Dalvin Cook's little brother. If he's anything like his brother, that would be just the icing on the cake if
right,
he pans out or
right.
if their running game steps up. I guess maybe it just hasn't had to because of Josh Allen, but that's the only thing that they lack.
Yeah,
And if they figure that out, I don't see them losing.
yeah. Well,
You
I'll tell
know,
you what.
on just an off day.
Yeah, well, good point about the running game,
Mhm.
drafting the rookie. And if
Mhm.
and if running back is a good position where you can start out as a young running back and have a good season. It's a
Right.
little different at the quarterback position, and some
Mhm.
other positions, but at running back, you can pretty much come in and because the main thing about running back is you got fresh legs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Fresh legs, energy. You got a
Mhm.
burst. Versus running backs that have been beaten down on for a couple seasons. He
Mhm.
hasn't been hit by NFL defensive players yet. So if he can give them a burst at that running game, I think what's his name, James Cook. Yeah. So you get James Cook out there cooking, but Josh Allen, the point that you made about Allen, he's a quarterback that can get a lot of rushing yards. And
Right.
believe me, I had him on my fantasy team last year,
Oh
and I
goodness.
loved it. And he's a big back. I mean, he's a big quarterback. He kind of
Yeah.
reminds you of Cam Newton, same kind of similar kind of size,
Mhm.
rushing ability, strong arm, but
Mhm.
he's actually, coming into his own now. And
He
this is
is.
really his team. This is his organization. The fans are behind him. The
Uh-huh.
players are behind him. It's like a major push right now for the Bills. And so I really feel good about them easily winning this division.
Oh yeah, and in
because of
addition,
mm-hmm.
Their offense is fantastic, but they I think they had, if it wasn't the number one defense, it was close. It's
Yeah, it was
like,
tough.
how can you be that good on both sides of the ball? That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's why the Super Bowl talk is coming up about them.
Yeah, it's
And
for real. Yeah.
right. And I think that the heartache of them losing to Kansas City in the
Yeah,
fashion that they did, I
that's
bet
gonna
you
be
they
fuel. Yeah.
yeah, I bet you they're going to use that, and I bet you they believe that they should have won. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they should have beat the team
I really
that
wanted them
was
to.
would have moved forward, and then
Yeah.
they would have played Cincinnati, and then they would have went to the Super Bowl. So I think Buffalo's feeling that way, and that's
Mhm.
where everything is pointing. Von Miller on defense. I mean,
Mhm.
you're upgrading there, bringing in somebody with Super Bowl experience now with the ring and everything. So that
Exactly.
is can't do nothing but motivate the team.
Oh, that's why you
And
want Odell Beckham there.
yeah, and then if you add Beckham, I mean, come on. And then so according to Vegas, their win total should be the betting thing in Vegas is 11 and a half. So that means you're either going to bet that they're going to win 12 games or they're going to win 11 games. So Buffalo is really, according to Vegas, a team that should win 12. That means they should win this division. That means they should have home field in the playoffs for a significant amount of time. So I'll just pass it to you. Do you think officially on this show today is Buffalo going to win the AFC East?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. We agree with that. And the schedule's up here, but we already feel like they're going to win 12 of these games.
Mhm.
So it's really, a moot point as far as their schedule.
Well, I mean, schedule is important. It's they have to play. It looks like the Chargers, Tennessee, Miami. I think that is Baltimore is going to be tough. Kansas City. That's a rematch that I'm going to be watching that game. I hope
Yeah.
it's on here, but even if it's not, I'm going to watch that game. And let's see, they've got Green Bay. I mean, the rest of this stuff is mostly winnable.
You didn't
Um,
mention your Jets.
I'm not a glutton for punishment like that. Why would I mention them? It's like I'm only mentioning teams that might beat them. It's possible that they could split with New England just because they know each other so well. They got Cincinnati, but then they got Miami twice. They got Chicago. It's like
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they're not like 13, and if they don't win 13 or 14 games even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a reason why Vegas set it at 11 and a half, and now we know. But yeah, and their Super Bowl odds are plus 600. So that is that's to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty strong.
Right.
Plus 300 to make the Super Bowl. So they are definitely a favorite in the eyes of Vegas.
Very
And
good.
we're not
That's,
and we're not talking about the Raiders either. We're talking about Vegas.
yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, that
I
covers the
feel like,
AFC East.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, I feel
what you
like
feel
that one
like?
was fairly simple to because it sets itself up like very similar to last year. But you never know. You have to see it play out. Injuries are important. So we'll see how it goes. But I would be shocked if it's not Buffalo that wins that division.
Yeah, another good point too. Injuries. I mean, we're doing this prediction thing. And a
Right.
lot of other people are doing the predictions and they're basing it off of, what's on the roster now. All
Mm-hmm.
kind of things can change, but based on how things are going into the season, this is how we feel. And I think Buffalo, even with as long as their quarterback doesn't get injured, I think that they will be in a position
Knocking
to
on some
win.
wood.
Right, to win those 12, 13 games, as long as they
Okay.
keep that, as long as the quarterback stays upright and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All
Okay.
right. We did it. We
Sounds
did
good.
it.
Yeah. That's a wrap, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Look how
Well,
smooth and easy that was, Lacy.
it's football. Hey,
Yeah. Yeah. I know it.
loving it.
So, well, yeah,
So,
definitely. I appreciate you being on. But we have to give the cheap plug. So for
okay.
the audience,
I'm here for it.
let them know about after the game. Tell the audience a little bit about after the game and also
Oh,
when they can see it.
let's see. Well, after the game is something that we're trying out. It's a show that's just is featuring um, just the girls talking about current events in sports. from our perspective. It's not necessarily what's going on the field. It's the things that go on off the field that we like to talk about and get a feminine perspective about these things that we hear so much about. Our first show was about Deshaun Watson and his massage therapist difficulties, and so we had a good conversation about that. And we're going to be talking about Brittany Griner next week. It's going to be on Wednesday. I want to say it's the 17th.
17th. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Brittany Griner and that situation, including talking about how the WNBA, it's a shame that their players can't earn the kind of money that their NBA counterparts do, or not even close. For her to be over there in the first place is a problem. So we'll be talking about things like that. Just airing out the subjects and hopefully giving a perspective that you're not used to hearing. So please tune in for that. Thank you.
And who will you be on with?
It will, well, not everybody can be on all the time, but it's going to be LaShawna, Liz, LaShawna and Liz are the other Williams sisters, and we also have
the Williams
when she's available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, that's
Lacy,
definitely an interesting group there.
It's LaShawna, Lacy, Liz, and Anna.
Okay, LaShawna, Lacy, Liz, all these L's. Okay.
Yeah.
and then Anna. Okay, so that's after the game. All right, so after the game, the original episode, the pilot episode was on August the 3rd. You can go to YouTube, you can type in 411 Sports World, and then you can go to videos and pull up the whole library, and you'll be able to go back and watch the re-air of that, the show there. But then you also tune in on August the 17th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for After the Game.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, there's a wine glass on the screen, so feel free to bring your drinks with you. After the game. Right. I'm definitely going to be there.
Yes, if you have comments while we're doing the show, you'll be able to let us know what you're thinking about. If you have a question, we'll be happy to answer your question. So tune in. It's a good time. Thank you.
Well, all right. And cover your ears from time to time, because there's no telling what you're going to hear.
There's wine involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of freedom in it.
Yep. All right. Well, Lacy, I definitely appreciate you being on. Sports Sister.
All right. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. And Zach, wherever you are, take care. Catch you on the next one. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for watching and listening to the Sportz Brothas show.
Yes.
Be ready for the fantasy football show on Monday at 7 p.m. Monday at 6 p.m. As Lacy will be on there with the calculator and Mr. 411 and another guest as we talk about the top 12 wide receivers, right? Top 12 receivers, and we have our mock draft. And then follow that up on Wednesday, August 17th for After the Game.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, for Lacy. Yes, and for Lacy, I'm Mr. 411. We thank you for watching and listening. Have a good night. We'll see you. Bye.